AITA for being honest and telling my DIL that they are not ready to be a parent since she cannot drive. I may be an ass here, like a huge one. We live in the USA and driving is very important. The buses are not great in our area. I met up with my daughters and DILs like once a month to get brunch or do something fun. This is about my DIL, Kelly, and overall, I thought we had a pretty good relationship. Kelly cannot drive, she has anxiety and refused to learn for years. My son drives her basically everywhere, and when he can't, I step up to do that. Ubers are very expensive here and money is tight on their end. Over the weekend, everyone met up to go one of our favorite dinner spots. My son couldn't drive her, so I picked her up and drove her. Everyone was having a good time, and Kelly mentioned that they were trying to get pregnant. I was shocked on the news but didn't say anything. The conversation moved on from there. When I was driving her home, Kelly asked why I made a face at dinner. I guess I made a face when I heard the news. I told her it was nothing and she wouldn't let it go. After she asked for the 5th time, I told her that I don't believe she is ready to be a parent since she cannot drive. That I am literally driving her places right now since she literally can't get to places without help. I asked, what is the plan when my son leaves to travel for work? Hide in the house all day? What if there is an emergency or the kid needs to go to the doctors? Have me take you places. Uber that they can't afford this started a huge argument, and she called me rude and that I don't see her as an independent adult. My points were the same, and she called me a and that I don't see her as an independent adult. My son called me asking to apologize and basically say having a kid is a good idea. I just don't think it is at all and think she needed to hear it. AITA smoking weed on my porch. I own a single family home. No HOA. Neighbors probably 50 feet away or so that moved in about a year ago. I was smoking a joint on my porch, screened in, tinted, and hear my neighbor yelling to her husband about how ridiculous it is, saying she was going to confront me and do something about it with her college-aged daughter egging her on to do so. I try to be mindful of when my neighbors are outside, although they always seem to be lol, and aim to smoke when I don't see them outside or when it's windy rainy. Every once in a while, not every day, during the day I will take a quick bong hit or two. I can't help but feel like she's making assumptions BC of my age, 20s. I am disabled and try to go for the higher terps, so I know it reeks. AITA if I continue smoking on my property is normal. BTW, legal state since so many asked and have a medical card. AITA for firing my mom from childcare, over a $5 class. My husband and I have a 16-month-old daughter, Ellie. I just went back to work part-time, and I had my mom watching Ellie 2 days a week. Ellie goes to this little toddler class through our rec center twice a week. It's a 2-hour class, and every class has free play, a circle time with a story and song, and an art project. During free play, the kids have 4 different table stations that they could visit, including an art table, a corner of the room with all cars, trucks, and trains, the house corner with a kitchen and baby dolls, the dramatic play area, changes bi-weekly. I've seen a grocery store, vet's office, and pizza shop, the book area, the block area, and the patio. The patio has 2 water tables, 2 playhouses, a sandbox, tricycles, and Little Tykes cars. Each class is only $5. Parents' caregivers are required to stay and supervise their children. Ellie loves this class. She's addicted to the chalkboards there and is starting to approach other babies. She does taste test every foam block in the room and has eaten her fair share of crayons and finger paint, on top of drenching herself in water, then rolling around in the sandbox and covering her in paint, but it's nothing that can't be solved without a change of clothes and hosing her off. I love how great the class is for her development. She's starting to know the names of colors, and she can sit down and play with toys for longer stretches. My mom hated the toddler classes. She describes it as chaos and insists that a walk around the block or a trip to the library is just as good, if not better for her development, and is much less messy. I still insisted that she take Ellie, which she agreed to, then stopped taking her behind my back. I only noticed when I realized we haven't got art projects back in a while. And she lied to me about where she's been going with my daughter and refused to take her to a class that I truly believe is good for her. I fired my mom from babysitting and hired a college student to stay with her while I'm working. Now my mom is upset that I'm restricting her access to her granddaughter and leaving her with a stranger, which is the one thing she was trying to prevent by babysitting my daughter for me. Now I want to know if I was the for firing my mom and not having Ellie see her nearly as much over a $5 class. AITA for not quieting down at a Renaissance fair and walking away after my boyfriend sided with a stranger. 23F went to a Renaissance fair with my boyfriend, 26M, and my sister. My sister and I go to events like this regularly, but it was my boyfriend's first time. At these events, people dress up, interact with performers, and cheer loudly during shows. I was acting how I normally do, engaging with the environment and cheering during performances. During a joust, I was cheering along with the crowd, nothing inappropriate, just typical cheering. A man sitting in front of me turned around and said I was scaring his child and asked me to stop. Before I could respond, my boyfriend told me I should quiet down a little. That upset me, especially since the event itself encourages loud crowd participation. Another person nearby even commented that the man was out of line. I felt embarrassed and unsupported, so I got up and walked away to calm down. My sister came with me. had already planned to split up after the joust, so I didn't think it was a big deal to take some space. A few hours later, my boyfriend found us and was upset, saying I had abandoned him at an unfamiliar event. He also said that if a child is scared, people should adjust their behavior regardless of the setting. I disagreed and felt like I shouldn't have to change normal behavior in that kind of environment. We ended up arguing, and it escalated more than it should have. Before the joust, we had a detailed plan of separating for an hour-ish after the joust. We each wanted to do different things happening at the same time frame, so we planned to part ways and meet back up at the place I wanted to go since it was a group activity. My sister and I did separate for a time, and she came back and joined me at the location talked about. I figured my boyfriend would do the same, which is why I was more okay with walking away from the situation. Also, before the joust even started, the kid was side-eyeing my sister and I, a look we're very familiar with as African Americans when children clearly aren't exposed to other people. After the dad told me to quiet down, other people around pulled me aside and said how he had no right to do so. All I was yelling was, "That's my wife," cheering for the female knight, and the man was there with his husband, so that comment really shouldn't be an issue to him. AITA for not quieting down and for walking away. AITA for still using the baby name I told my sister I was going to use, despite her using a variation of it first. I 35F had my first daughter in September. While I was pregnant, my sister, 38F, was also pregnant with a boy. In reality, she was pregnant with twins, a boy and a girl, but thought it would be fun if it was a surprise for everyone. During that time, I told her that I planned to name this baby after our mom, Colette, and my husband's mother, Coral. Both names start with Co, and I think Coco is an adorable nickname. She told me the name they picked was a surprise, and they didn't want to reveal it until the baby was here. Lo and behold, her twins are born in August. Everyone is super surprised that it's twins. She names them Cole and Letty. I didn't think much of it except that it was really cute and sweet that she clearly named them after our mom. When my daughter was born, I followed through and named her Colette Coral. We almost exclusively call her Coco. My sister is very annoyed that I followed through with the name and brings it up all the time how ridiculous it is that 3 of them practically share a name. It's also confusing if full names are used, I will admit that. Despite me telling her my entire pregnancy, this was the name I planned to use. I even had stuff made with the name. She ensures everyone knows her babies were born first. Honestly, if she had told me months ago that she planned to use Cole and Letty, I probably would have pivoted, but she never said anything. Heck, even if she told me she was using Cole, I would have reevaluated. Currently debating legally swapping Coral and Colette simply to keep the peace, but that feels an awful lot like admitting I'm the in the first place. So, am I the